Dating. We all know how hard it is to confess to our crush. Your heart beats faster than ever and you get butterflies in your stomach. Until you finally confess, the anticipation builds up and it all leads to either an acceptance or a rejection. Fast forward till today. Everything can be done through social media or dating apps such as Tinder, Bumble, and many others. But the question stands, is it useful? Does it actually work? Can you finally find true love? In this week's episode, we will be swiping our way into the world of dating apps. Do you double tap, swipe left or right? Let's find out.
Hey.
All right. Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the
Good morning.
Three
I just want to say,
Three Lattes
congratulations
Podcast.
for Wei Yong for making through that monologue. Oh my
Yeah,
god, you
I
did it, bro.
in the beginning, but yeah. So hope you all are having a good day, and remember to follow our socials, our Instagram and our YouTube. It's called Three Lattes, the Three Lattes, and we are also on Spotify and Apple Music.
Apple
Right.
Podcast.
Apple Podcast.
Apple Podcast, bro.
Apple Podcast, yes, Apple Podcast. Sorry, Apple
Hey, but
Podcast.
kind of funny lah. I don't know why they why can't they combine it together? You know, like why can't they just
Yeah.
like make it together just like Spotify? It's a bit funny, but that's a topic for another day.
Yep. Okay. Okay. So like we always do on our podcast, we all of us gonna present like a hot take of the day. So either of you can go first, lah.
That is the way, man. So, you know, oh my gosh. Okay, you know what? I go first without wasting time. Okay, my hot take of the day is technically okay. When you're having pizza, it is always a must to have extra cheese. Okay, like it's always a must to order
Wow.
with extra
Like
cheese.
your
on your
second time
pizza.
talking about pizza in your hot take.
Yes, this is a must because I just had pizza yesterday, so
Okay, like, extra cheese. You
always need to have
can't
extra cheese.
you can't complain, lah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing. I can't complain either. Maybe a bit jilat lah, but like I don't really care.
Okay, Vinod, how about yours?
My hot take is that, do we actually say this? But I actually believe that pineapples do belong on pizza.
Yeah. That's the
I
one
think
Simon
we-
said.
yeah,
lah.
yeah,
In
I
the
said
first
that,
in the
man.
first
Yeah.
week, I think.
My
If
bad.
you all
Because,
remember.
no, my bad. Because last night I had like pizza and
Oh wow, we all had.
yeah,
we
I had pizza last night. And then I kind of had an epiphany. I was thinking, why do people think it doesn't belong on pizza? I'm like, I don't get it.
Yeah,
So I think
works
yeah.
though.
So I'm trying to like bring it back and say like, you know, I'm spreading the propaganda that pineapples do belong on pizza.
We're
Pea on
gonna
pea, pineapples on pizza.
Yeah.
get
Yeah, so
fired
for
upon on
mine-
our socials, man.
My hot take will like
Yeah.
my hot take will divert away from food, lah. Don't want to make everyone hungry.
Okay.
Okay.
Basically it's quite deep a bit, but I think
Ooh.
it's okay to make it's okay to make mistakes.
Oh.
Twice.
It's
Ooh,
okay that. Oh.
interesting.
Like a lot of people say, you gotta learn from a mistake, right? But the truth is
You mean to say you make the mistake twice or you make the same mistake twice?
same mistake.
Ah, okay.
Okay, but so long as you learn.
Cause
Okay.
like a lot of people will say like, we can learn something and we can always learn from our mistake. But the truth is not every time we learn from mistake. We might miss it and what, but I think it's okay, it's normal. So yeah, that's my hot take.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
without
Great,
further
great.
ado,
Yeah.
we're gonna talk about dating apps. That's why we are all here today.
Yes.
Dating
First
Fun
apps,
fact,
question.
man.
we all, how funny would it be if like all of us met on a dating app?
Bro, that would be so funny, man. Say, hey, you
Me
want
and all of us,
to...
me and a dating app.
Grinders, yeah.
Okay, wait, but before we begin, we just want to list it out there for everyone out there that whatever that we'll be discussing today and talking about today is all based on our own opinion. Although we did do our own research here and there, but it's based on what we feel and what we think. So just putting it out there that's just it. And now we're gonna move into the topic. Okay, Wei Yong, take it away.
Status.
Yep, correct. So I think we all know like there are a few like dating apps, right? Like the popular ones.
Mhm.
So do dating apps actually work here?
In
What do you
Malaysia,
think?
Malaysia is it?
Malaysia, right?
Correct.
For me, it works depending on what you want, lor.
Oh
Like
yeah, so
some
true.
people, some people use it for different purposes. Some people use it to actually find girlfriend, boyfriend. Some
Mm-hmm.
people find it to have like flings, and then like
Yeah.
some,
One night
and then there are some.
stands.
Yeah, correct. And then there are some like on Bumble. There's this setting where you can find just friends. So
Oh, that's great.
um
Oh.
yeah, so I mean
It's like you can set lah.
it works, but it also depends on how the people use it and what they're finding for.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. But I just want to point it out here to everyone who is like listening. I mean, this is just for us in Penang lah, huh? Because
Mm.
uh, my personal opinion, I feel Tinder doesn't work in Malaysia.
It doesn't.
Okay,
Is it?
because I tried it
Doesn't.
before. Like I think a few years back,
Wow,
I had an account.
Wow, lover boy.
No, I just went on
Only
to
on
it
Three
and
Lattes
see what
Podcast you
the
will
whole
know this
fuss
kind of
was
thing.
about. What was all the swipe left side, swipe right thing, and all these different things. I feel it.
Okay.
I feel it's quite useless here, like in Malaysia, because like it's either you get into the app, you make an account, and then it's either you find scammers, you find fake accounts, or you just find like a very like niche demographic. Really, that's just that because we have such a very low demographic here, But instead of Tinder, right? Actually, like there are other apps that actually work much better in Malaysia. Like examples, I think anyone who is listening to this, I'm sure you all know what I'm going to be talking about. I'm talking about Tantan. I'm talking about Omi. I'm talking about MeChat, or like even like dating apps, or even like apps to just like hook up or whatever. All these things, like something like Scout, But Scout has like a lot of scammers, so do be aware with that. Yeah. But
To be honest,
yeah.
I never hear. I don't know none of the apps that you just mentioned, man.
Bro, got a lot.
I never heard before
You
lah.
got your app store, right? You just put there dating apps, right? You see a ton
Oh,
of
is it?
different apps, I tell you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just how Simon said, like he actually used dating app before. I mean, I personally I never used before. How
Liar.
about you, Vinod? Wow,
You really haven't used before.
I haven't used before. Because what's the
He's an
point?
innocent
Like, I
boy,
don't-
innocent boy.
I'm not like.
You're not like what? You're not like what?
I'm not trying to find a girlfriend.
Oh,
Oh,
say.
say.
Wait, sorry. Repeat your question.
You got used dating app before or not?
I used it like a long time ago. I was on Bumble and Tinder like a very, very long time ago. I
Were
did
you
use
young,
it.
dumb, and broke?
Yeah. I was down bad lah. Like the only reason why I went on those dating apps is because I felt like really lonely and stuff. So I wanted to like find new people to
Yeah.
talk to. But it didn't work. Honestly, I feel like Instagram is a better place to meet people.
Oh yeah, true. If you have the guts to
Yeah.
hit them up on the DMs, lah.
Yeah, I think like with Instagram, you can be more open about your personality and you can learn more about the person, like through their like Instagram page and shit.
Yeah.
So I think that's a better way to like approach people. But for me, Tinder, Bumble, or any other dating apps, I've been on them, but didn't really work out for me.
Mm.
That's what I would say.
So you've been to like several apps lah, and then it just
Only
didn't
two,
work
only
out.
two, only
Only
two.
two.
I've only been on Bumble and Tinder. That's
I mean,
Yeah.
just to like thread back on what Vinod said just now, right? When you're sort of like in a very lonely state of stuff, don't you guys realize that those for people who might be more like whether they feel lonely or whether they are like a bit down or depressed stuff like that, they tend to go for these kind of things like they tend to like download these apps where they want to meet people or just talk to people anonymously,
Yeah.
or like Omegle and all these things, you see. But
Omegle is a
here's-
scary place to be, man.
yeah. You just
Omegle, yeah.
you have no idea what will pop out. Right? It's so scary, I tell you.
Oh my
But
God.
I would just say that for those people who like who are like lonely and depressed or stuff like that, if you guys are going through this phase, and it's okay if you guys want to like dive into these apps and try to explore it yourself. But I would say thread really carefully. And discern a real account from a scammer or a fake one, because and for guys, okay, think with your head, not your pee or your desperation to get laid. Okay.
I mean, if they find someone that's also like wants to like sleep around, then fair game lah,
Yeah, that's
But,
a fair game lah. I mean,
yeah,
but
fair
then
game
like
lah, but like,
bottom line is just like when
Be
you're in
respectful.
that be respectful, but when you're in that situation, don't go into dating apps thinking that you be meeting like the person of your dreams and like you can like live happily ever after, like some fictional story. Bottom line is like some apps work, some don't. It really depends. So just tread carefully.
Okay, since you touched on that, right? Like I have a question to ask.
Oh.
Like,
Yeah.
do you think like for men, right, dating apps kind of like skewer our perception of women in a way where like, because when we're on dating apps, right, we just see their pictures and then we like swipe right or swipe left, or they say we swipe right.
Because it's just all based off like our first impression of their photos, you see.
Correct.
Yeah,
correct.
like we see their photos, we think of something, and then when you see them in real life, we get disappointed. So like,
Yeah.
it kind of builds up an unhealthy perception for us. And the thing is that the dating apps are what enables them. Do you think that's an issue? Like, what do you think about that?
I think that's a huge issue, to be honest, because like I mean, but throwback to like the olden days of how like we got to know people, like we got to like be with people or like get to know people and like go on dates and stuff like that. I mean, we will see them physically, we see them in real life, so that's already the first impression. We already know how they are, whether it be with makeup, without makeup, with hair styled up, or with proper clothes or whatnot. But you see, one thing that in which I think is a great segue for like the question 2 that Wei Yong will go into later is that with these apps is that you get a perception of what that person wants you to perceive.
Correct. They put out what they want you to see, not what they really are most of the time.
Which is actually either a good thing or a dangerous thing. So that's why I said like you need to know how to perceive from like a real account from a fake account. Like you can see their photos one lah. Okay, like if their photos look like you're shot from a potato, then okay like it's quite sus lah. Okay, but if you see like a proper photo that is like taken with like proper like background and stuff like that, and it seems genuine with a genuine smile and all those things, then it's if it's genuine, then you can maybe just like swipe right or whatever, just give a text, and then discern further on also as you keep conversing with them.
Like dating apps didn't work for you, but have you ever heard of stories where it worked for other people? Like in Malaysia,
got a few.
Got actually got. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, for me, I always have this mindset. I mean, I don't know if it's a bad mindset or good mindset. I think it's just for me. I feel like people that meet on dating apps, and if it does develop to something real, good for them lah. But I think it's like a 1 in a million chance.
Yeah, it's
that means very rare
quite
for you.
Very
rare.
thing, because I don't know. I think it's been stigmatized in society that sort of like dating apps is like the place to be to like hook up.
I think the stigma is propagated by us as well. It's because of how we use it also.
Yeah. That's why I say, guys, don't go thinking with your PP, man.
That's just another way of saying just control yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, you can't treat it like a matrimony site, like like you don't go on it to find your wife, right? Right. So I think it's
some people
like
do. Some people they're like, okay, I'm gonna get onto this app. And I'm gonna swipe, and the girl of my dreams is gonna pop up today.
That's right. Only one.
If it works out for you, it works out for you, man. But honestly, I don't think you should go into dating apps with that kind of unrealistic expectation. Because,
it's unhealthy.
Yeah, you're gonna get let down so many times. So don't go into it with a lot of expectations. That's what I can say.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so I think we talked about just now. We talked about how there's like a perception, right, of whoever that's on the dating app. So now we're gonna talk about the main issues of dating apps. So what do you think are like some of the issues that you think is like related to the dating apps lah? Is like,
I think to summarize it up in one word lah, in one single word. I may be wrong.
Okay, go
right.
for it.
Anonymity. Anonymity.
Anonymity.
Yeah, it's like it's such a hard word to
it's
say.
Like anonymous, but anonymity.
Yeah, basically, it's
okay.
Basically, the reason why I say that is because, like what I said just now, you don't know whether that person's a real person or not, or like you don't know whether what you're getting into. They may tell you of their background, but they may be bullshitting or stuff like that also. You see, and until you get to like converse with them, maybe by text or like my personal opinion is that you won't really know how a person is until you meet up with them.
Correct.
I mean, yeah.
It's very surface level when you're always texting, like how to say, I put it down here like that because the fact is that there's no real physical interaction. So in a way, it's very hard to perceive cues. I mean, when you're going on a date, you want to like see cues, right? For example, like body language, the way how they're talking, the way how they're reacting to you, whether they're vibing off you or not, or stuff like that. You see, but instead you have to crack your head on whether or not they're actually interested in you, whether it be in your personality,
Imagine they use
or like
different
or just
picture,
photo.
man. Like
Yeah.
Catfish, there's catfish lah. That's basically catfish lah.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
catfish lah. I mean,
And-
catfish is something else extremely messed up.
It's a
lah, but
different.
Yeah, that's
topic,
a
different
hu-
story for another day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's harder to develop feelings because you're seeing a photo that they choose to impress you, you know. But in reality, it could be different. Like what Vinod brought it up just now. You see, the picture could be edited. You know, it could be Photoshop. It could be lots of filter. You know, like have you guys seen like those like TikToks or Instagram reels of like China people where they all like taking off all their makeup and then all their
Bro,
thing,
you on
and it's
a
a
mission to get us
different
banned from
world.
China, man.
it's a different it's like night and day, you know, literally like
Yeah,
suddenly it became night, you know.
They basically like make themselves look like Barbie dolls, which is like a bit weird to me, honestly.
Yeah, totally.
I think what you say is right. I think the other thing about perception as well. I think people on dating apps have to realize that they're only showing you the best side of them
Yeah,
because that's what gives them a higher chance of getting like swipe right or whatever, right?
I mean you want to
So-
be attractive, ma.
Correct.
Right.
So,
Like
so
your
to-
first impression must be very nice.
yeah, so you'll always give them your best side. So
Right.
when you meet someone in real life, you wouldn't necessarily always get their best side. So some people will feel disappointed. I think it goes for men and women,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I think it's a very similar experience. And I don't think you can blame the people on the app. I think it's just the way the app enables this kind of behavior, this kind of attitude towards it, where we have to show our best selves for us to get accepted. Not our what do you call it? Not our genuine self, but our best self.
Yeah,
Correct.
it's like the app is set up that way, right?
Correct. It's built up that way. So that's how you use it, right? That's how you get the highest probability of getting a match or whatever. So I think it's not a matter of the people's mindset. I think it's just the way the app kind of puts us in that mindset. It kind of enables that mindset.
yeah, and it's also how like
Yeah.
it develops and grows with the mindset of like society.
Correct. I think
It branches out.
Correct. Yeah. Also, another thing I want to say about dating apps is that I feel like for people that actually properly use it, because okay, this is the logic of dating apps, right? Dating apps, it kind of increases your dating pool.
Yeah.
Meaning you
Okay, yeah.
right. Instead of
You got
meeting
more
one at a
fishes.
time, you
Is
got
what
more
they say.
options.
Yeah.
Correct.
It's true. There's the plus side, but here's the negative side. You're talking to multiple people at the same time. It can feel like a real part-time job, you know.
It's
Think
like
about it.
You become like a gatekeeper.
it's like you are on a. It's like you are busy. Like, oh, you got this person to talk to. Then suddenly you got this person to talk to. Then
Right? It can be, yeah,
like-
it can be very
gets
overwhelming.
right?
Correct. Yes. You took
Yeah.
the words right out of my mouth, man. It's like,
Whoa.
no, honestly, like it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be light, you know, because dating is like, especially the first starting stages when you're getting to know people, it's supposed to be fun and light. But because in a dating app, it kind of increases the dating pool and it kind of makes you talk to other people at the same time. It kind of feels like you're handling a lot at one time. So you can't even be your best self to everyone. You're kind of giving bits and parts of yourself to everyone. So no one actually gets the full picture.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
I think it makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah,
It's like
and then-
you have too many things on your plate.
Correct. And then you don't get the best experience out of it because you're too tired and you get like dating app fatigues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's
I
a
mean,
real thing.
I'll
It's a real
dive
thing.
into this thing later on, like for as we further down the line of this topic. But I feel like just in general, like with dating apps, it kind of like gives us the like I mean like what Vinod said, I kind of agree with that. Sometimes I feel dating should be fun, but at the same time, it takes out the genuinity. Is that a word? Of like
Let's just call it a word line.
yeah, just call it. It kind of takes
call it
out the
what,
genuineness of how dating is essentially supposed to be. It's supposed to be you meeting one person, whether it be male, female, okay, and getting to know them properly, rather than like how to say, like, I mean, we all, I think society has sort of propagated this, is that we all date one person, and then after that, while dating that person, we kind of have another person that dating is like, oh, we can just pick and choose who we want, right? But then, like, at the end of the day, right, it's sort of like, I mean, it varies on people to people lah, but it kind of like, you kind of like belittle the fragility of emotions and of humanity, basically, because I feel like, let's say you went out with this person to date with them, then you okay, finish the date, then you go back home, then you find this other person again on the app, and then you decided to go with them again without the other person knowing. And then let's say if the other person develops feeling for you, what are you gonna say? Oh, sorry that it didn't work out. How's the other person
But-
gonna feel? You see?
But I think that problem exists outside of dating apps also.
Yeah. I mean, it does.
You mean
lah.
in real life?
I think that exists everywhere. Like, it's not just pertaining to dating apps. But I think there's like an active lifestyle. There's a decision. There's a lifestyle decision that people make.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think I agree that like the dating apps kind of made it what it is now. I
Yeah.
feel like the dating apps kind of enabled that kind of
It-
behavior.
It's kind of, it's, to be honest, I'll be very honest with you guys, it's very sad lah. Huh? It's very sad because you like,
Oh, why? Like,
no, because I'll just give you an example. So
I'm just curious.
So like, okay,
Yeah,
so,
like, oh,
I'll just
why?
give you. So my girlfriend.
Oh, why?
So my girlfriend.
Interesting.
My girlfriend, like, how say, she tells me like on how say, she has okay, let's say an acquaintance, okay, and she tells me that
Oh, fancy word.
yeah, so she tells me that, how say that, wait, this friend just like how say, this friend just like broke up like not long ago, and then suddenly she's back into a relationship again. Like, how do they, like, what I'm trying to just emphasize here is that how they're treating emotions very lightly, or like treating like just relationships lightly. Some people are in it for the fun, but don't you all
okay.
think that in reality, for you to be in a relationship, you is to think ahead, to think of a future, to think further. If you are constantly thinking of just like having fun and stuff like that, right? I don't think you're gonna have a future at all.
I don't think
I think,
people
like-
who jump from I think let me just say this, okay? I think
Yeah,
people
go for
that
it.
jump from like relationships to relationships, I feel like it's a lifestyle decision, a lifestyle choice that people adopt and they live the way they want. And for me, it's like, okay, I don't judge. Like, you're happy. But like, I personally couldn't do it because I feel like then it kind of like, it kind of invalidates the relationships I have.
Yeah, totally. That's what I'm trying to point out. I'm
right?
not trying to say that is that what they're doing is bad or whatever. But it's just in general, like, how, like, a person like me, how I'm seeing it, or like how I'm perceiving it, is that, it's as if like, do you not like sort of like take into account of like how like, how to say, like, you take relationships seriously or something like that, like, don't you need time to recuperate or all these things, like, how can you just jump from one thing to another? I know that it goes deeper than that, sometimes you jump from one to another is because you need to fill the void that's within you and all that thing.
Very dark, bro. Very
Yeah,
dark.
it's very dark.
Damn dark.
Like my shirt.
But then that's the thing, right? Like, everyone has their own definition of dating.
Yeah, totally.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think that's such an important point. I think like, for me, dating is, my idea of dating could be different from any other person's idea of dating.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I think that's where dating apps come in, and they don't cater to people's different needs people's different ideas of dating.
Mm.
Get what I mean?
Okay.
And
Just
that's
like-
where the
They just give you like a platform. You do whatever
you
you
meet
want
this
or
person,
something like that.
you do whatever you want, and it kind of opens up to people getting disappointed and hurt even more.
Yeah,
And that's why I say you have to understand dating apps are not meant to work magically for you. You have to put effort to have it work for
yeah,
you.
it's not like Cinderella where you have the perfect shoe
Correct.
every time.
Correct. You cannot just
Oh,
sign up for
yeah.
Tinder. You cannot just sign up for Tinder and wait for it to work for you. You have to actually go out there and put some effort into making
Yeah.
it work for you.
Yeah.
It's like it won't magically get you a girlfriend or boyfriend.
Yeah.
Or okay.
Yeah, Rapunzel won't just let down her hair for you.
I was thinking, someone got that.
So it's like, then do dating apps change the way we perceive connections when it
Yes.
comes to dating.
I totally agree with
100%.
that. Yeah, 100%.
100%.
I'll just put it.
100%.
I'll just put it out here that, the dating culture just like I
Yeah.
think in society
What's
and
the
everything
dating culture?
has changed so much over the years, and that is because of technology and
Correct.
social media and all
Technology.
these things. From
Mm.
this is just my personal opinion. From wanting to really to get to know someone to probably just wanting to to have a quick hookup, or maybe to just
Mm.
get a quick satisfaction out of it, to just satisfy your own needs, rather than it being truly genuine of like being like, you want to try out a relationship. But
Mm.
I'm not trying to belittle our current generation of saying that, because we have social media and all these things, that's why we currently have this thing. But I think this thing also, I think it has also been going on even before technology or the internet came out, but just in a different way. Back then, like, I mean, we all just to give an example, like, we all see like movies, for example, like how say like let's say we go back to like those gangsters or like cowboys or whatever, you see how they pick up girls or have a quick hookups, that they go to bars and then they use their charm to pick up
Yeah.
girls, and then in the end they get girls. But in our current generation, it's just like a different way. We do that through dating apps, social media and all these things, you see. Yeah.
That's actually so fair. I think when people, especially when the older generation is like, oh, you people young people all you do is just hook up like that, then how y'all can be happy? And it's like, bro,
Yeah.
like hookup culture has always been there. It is kind of always been there. It's just that it's easier right now because of your internet and the apps and whatnot. Also because of internet and technology, our world has become so much smaller because everyone's connected. Our culture kind
It
of like
intertwines with each other.
a lot of
yeah.
cultures kind of like clash and like, yeah, correct. So we are exposed to more experiences and cultures. So our perception on dating also changes, and dating apps, I think, is one of a very, very big reason why our perception on dating and like real connections change. Because let's say I'm on Tinder, right? I think one of the main, I think, and again, touching on the problem with Tinder and like dating apps, I feel like you have such low attention span. Like you swipe right with a person, you
Yeah.
have a day
Oh, is it? It works like
for
that.
them to be hooked to you. If not, you've missed the. I mean, like, it's not like a rule or anything, but it's normally like that. If
That means you're not
if
attracted to them
hooked
at all,
a person
yeah.
within like a day or two, you lost the. Yeah,
Oh.
Because
you've
in a
lost
day,
the window.
that person could be swiping
get
like
what-
how
you've
many
lost the
times a day
window.
also, you see. Could meet how many people,
Right.
you see.
Correct. They not swipe. Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't swipe on you. They swipe on 100,000 people. Like, it's like it's not only you. So when you get matched, you have a certain time period, a certain window where you have to get the attention. And if you don't, you lost the window. You have to find someone else. And you see how that culture spills over to real life, where we don't have the time to actually get to know someone
Yeah.
before.
So do you feel
pursuing
like it's very
our
rushed?
thoughts
Like
about
they
them.
give you a time limit?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's not they
okay,
give you a
okay.
time limit. The time limit is in your head. Because
law of attraction.
the way the app works is like that. I mean, to be fair, Bumble does give you a time period lah. Like once you match, the girl has like 24 period to message you. If not, it's unmatched already. 24 hours to message you, if not unmatched already. You see what I mean? So you have 24 hours to say something and get the attention. If not, you're going to find someone else. You miss that connection. But then what if like
Yeah,
if
it
you
would
met
be
this person
different,
outside
right?
of
Yeah.
Tinder and you had
Yeah.
a proper conversation, you guys could have been something.
Yeah.
Right? It's so many variables. And because of that, because of dating apps, our perception of connection has changed, where nowadays we feel like it has to be instant. It has to be on
Yeah,
the spot.
it's like it's like just in general, like you kind of like you see this girl and you're just like, oh, I want her to fall in love with me, so fall in love with me. But it's not. That's not how it works, man. That's
Correct.
why. That's why
Yeah.
That's why, like with what you said, with the instant
Yeah.
of the
Correct.
the kind of instant
Instant
mindset
culture.
of like the instant culture that you want to like get into a relationship, or you want to get hooked up really fast and all these things like that. Like, just to emphasize this also, to be honest, right? This is just my personal opinion as well. I feel our generation kind of, we treat emotions as if like it doesn't really exist. Just so to satisfy probably like our desires and our needs. We do not think of what that person feels, that person, the other person requires, stuff like that. You see,
Right.
that's why, like I said just now, like until the point, like we don't know the fragility of it anymore. The fragility. Yeah. Okay.
Fragility.
The fragility. And then of all the
Fragility.
things that also we've seen on, like, for example, social media. Okay, the social
Sausage media.
should be another dating app. Sausage media.
Social media.
I mean, like
Sausage
all the
media.
stories and the short reenactments. It has made us perceive that. I mean, in our current generation, it has made us perceive that true dating is down under. Whatever happened to proper dates anymore? It's all about getting the right catch-up line. Is that pickup lines? Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, a bit of a boomer.
Pick up line.
I mean, like
Pick up line.
it's all
Catch-up
about, like,
line.
it's all catch-up line. Catch-up.
He's,
It's all about finding the right pickup lines, and then if a girl says yes, then it says no, or like all these things, and I don't know. It's just so complex, and the probability of, like, sort of like this dating things app and how it succeeds is so niche. It's so hard
It's like-
to see it working, but
For a certain
it
group of
does for some people. It does for some
people. For
people.
some people, right?
Maybe it doesn't work here in Malaysia, but I think it does in a way work in, like, the US and other countries that.
Actually, to be fair, yeah, like I don't know, I have no idea how it works in the
I
US
have
or,
heard
like,
of stories
other
of where, like,
countries, but in
people who
Malaysia,
use
it's very
Tinder
hard to
or,
find.
like,
And
even
they met.
and they met and they just became friends. It's actually good stories in a way lah, and not just like yeah, you don't really hear that
But you
often.
don't hear
It's
that-
always
but you don't
related
hear
to,
that
like,
often. That's
you
the
wanna
problem.
get a hookup or all these things,
That's the problem. I mean, I have nothing against hookup culture or, like, just like having, like, a strictly physical relationship, but the problem with that is
Yeah.
that some people are on
Yeah.
dating apps
and
for
then
that.
if those
Some
kind
people
of
are
those
not.
two different people meet,
You get what I mean?
and then it's not going to be. It's going to be
Hey,
messy.
but then right, there's like a new.
It's a very-
not
it's a
new
very-
dating
it's
app,
a
but
very-
I
yeah.
saw a video. This dating app they will ask you questions like, are you ready to settle down? Like these kind of questions, so that you put your answer and then they
dating
will
apps
yeah,
should
try to
do
match.
that actually.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
dating apps should do
Yes.
that.
Is that a good thing? That's a good thing, right?
Yeah, dating. Yeah, there have been. That's a good step forward, I feel, because now what you have
Yeah.
is not just a bunch of people trying to work it out.
It's like you're categorizing
now
them
the
into,
app
like,
is trying
groups.
to work out
Yeah,
your
it's
needs
like
and
so that
desires.
you can-
It's like captions
Easier-
or like
easier lah
tags.
to
Correct.
You know,
And then
that's
you
how
can
it works.
also, yeah. Like for instance, when Tinder started off, it was about just
Yeah.
finding a high probability of matches. When you categorize people, like, or when you ask questions like, oh, are you ready to settle down? Why are you looking for a casual relationship, romantic relationship, friendship? When you ask questions like that, now it's high probability of matching with people that wants the same thing as you do. So now,
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
you're tapping into a whole new demographic, and now your chances of chances of success in the app, chances of finding success in what you want to find are
They're
higher
on the same. Yeah.
because they're matching you with people that are on the same wavelength as you. Yeah, so I think that's a good step forward.
Yeah, that's
But,
that's why I
true
said it's,
also
it's,
lah.
it's so
This is like-
dangerous
yeah,
because,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
you
so
could
you get
just
what they want also,
say
right?
any kind of shit
Yeah.
on, like, your bio, and, like, like people might
Yeah.
even fall for it. You see, I mean, we have a world
Yeah.
of we live in a world where, like, there's so many different kinds of people, and some people, right, they may be quite oblivious to even the stupidest things.
Yeah.
Also, they might think that the stupidest things are the real things also. One, hey, I'm serious, bro. Is that innocent of how certain societies are and how certain people and their personalities are?
Yeah, they're big. I mean, I think that's the problem with, like, being on Tinder and, like, not Tinder. Like, I keep saying Tinder, but the problems on being, like, dating apps is that if you're a gullible person,
it's going to be really tough, and it's going to be a
so
very
hard.
dangerous. It might be a very
It's
dangerous place
so
for you to
hard.
be also. So tread carefully, like what I said beginning of the episode.
Correct.
It's very important. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Very, very, very.
It's actually a very
Yeah.
fine line. When you're in dating apps, you're walking a very, very fine line. So you have to be aware of what you want. First of all, I think you have to be aware of what you want,
Yeah.
and then you have to be aware of the person you match, like what they want. Also, you have to kind of like understand where you guys at, and
Agreed,
then you can move
agree.
forward.
Would you encourage
And it'll be
people
a
to
better
use
experience.
dating apps?
Vinod, you go first, lah. Yeah, I agree with that.
I agree
I'm
with you.
all for people being happy. I'm all
If
for
you need to
people,
go
you know,
dating
just
Yeah.
being
As long as
satisfied.
you're happy.
Yeah, like if you want to have like a hookup type of stuff, and you can only find that on dating apps, okay, use your dating apps. But this is okay. Would I encourage people to go on dating apps? Yes, 100%. Because as much as they are bad
Out of,
stories,
like,
they are like a
It
few
might
good
work
stories.
for
million
you.
different
So-
probabilities.
For you,
Uh,
right.
It might work for you. Like,
Just
who
go
am I
to sleep
say-
every night and say a
who am I
prayer.
to say that, oh, this dating app won't work for you?
Oh, I pray that I will get.
Or just touch, or just touch some grass.
Hey, those are good ideas for some merch that we can come out in the future. Touch some grass.
Yeah.
Or
Wow.
like, oh yeah, that's interesting.
Merch.
I should think about that later
Yeah.
on.
Okay, that one.
Oh, okay.
we have a meeting later lah. Would I encourage people to be on dating apps? Yes.
Mm.
Because who am I to say they're not going to work for you, right? They might work for you. For me to discourage you from going to dating apps, it's like doing a disjustice, maybe doing an injustice. Maybe what if I rob you the
Ooh,
chance of finding the love
maybe.
of your life on the
Yeah,
dating app?
it's like
So yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, so I'm not one to say don't go on dating apps. I say
Tread
go on
carefully.
dating apps, but like I said, first know
Yeah.
what you want. Know
Listen
what you
to
seek in
mommy and
dating apps.
daddy.
Meaning, do you want a casual relationship?
Puppy
Listen to
Simon.
Papa Simon.
Listen to papi.
Yeah, I think first you must know what you want. You must know what kind of relationship you're seeking in a dating app, and then when you match with people, you must know. You must gauge what they want. So you must.
Yeah, you
a
have to
bit
be street smart, lah.
and also
basically.
don't get
yeah.
stressed about it. You have to be street smart, yeah. And also don't let it consume you, like I know they can be overwhelming because you're talking to a lot of people at once, and that's how it's supposed to work. So take some time off if it's too overwhelming, or maybe have a set rule for yourself, like
yeah.
I won't talk to more than a certain number of people at the same time. So you can be a bit fair to the people that match with you, so because people that match with you,
Yeah.
they deserve your
Yeah.
attention also.
Set a limit to
That's what
yourself,
they
lah,
should do,
basically.
right? So correct. So for your question, do I encourage people to go on dating apps? Yes.
Agreed, totally.
But I
agree.
also
Wei Yong,
encourage
what about
them
you?
to
What do
use
you
it
think?
smartly. Yeah.
To be honest, right? It's the same lah as Vinod, because I'm no one. I'm not. I cannot.
Hey, you are somebody, man. You
cannot-
are
I cannot
Wei
tell
Yong
people
to
like that,
us,
man.
man.
You are somebody, bro.
You are the
you
G.
are Wei
You
Yong.
are the GOAT.
You are Tan Wei Yong, bro.
I cannot tell
Tan
anyone to
Wei
not
Yong.
go or to go or to. But then, like you said,
Okay, like this. I go to you. I say, Wei Yong, I very sad.
I'll
Should I
say?
go on dating apps? What will you say?
why not? You never try, you never know.
Wei Yong is such like the middle ground person. It's just like maybe I guess so.
You are.
Why not?
If anything happen, it's
It's on you lah. I whatever I say, it doesn't matter.
Don't come and find me if there's anything.
Yeah, just because I say you can doesn't mean anything wrong
Then,
happen is my
then if
fault.
they actually,
Okay. I
if
get what you mean.
actually, it's like there's a good relationship formed or something. Then you can.
Wei
credit me
Yong's
lah.
theory is like
Then you
you
can
go,
credit me lah.
you learn from your mistakes.
Credit
you
you
make
lah.
mistake, learn,
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Yeah, if the
Correct.
dating app experience sucks for you, it's not my fault, it's your fault. But if it's good for you, or it's
Not all me
me.
lah, but part of,
Steady Wei Yong.
I totally don't know that.
Yeah, that's my thought lah.
I mean, okay lah.
Yeah, fair enough lah.
For me,
Okay.
I initially wrote down I wouldn't encourage it, but then after listening to what you guys have said, I would say maybe. Okay, and the reason why I say maybe is because I come from a very different background from how maybe where like the environment that maybe Vinod mixes around with, and the environment that Wei Yong mixes around with, and the environment that maybe any one of y'all mix around with. Like I may sound like a boomer right now, but I guess I wouldn't encourage it, because I'm a strong believer of let's say of being very careful with who I choose, and when I finally get to find a person who really matches with me, I stay to continue make it to continue to make it work, despite of all the maybe just the very little things that maybe don't match. I mean, we're all human anyways. No relationship is perfect. Nothing is all flowers that are blooming under the sun. Okay, but at the end of the day, how to say, I the reason why I say I wouldn't encourage it is because my mind suddenly went blank just now for a while. But I mean,
never mind, it's okay.
Yeah.
No worries, bah.
It's okay.
I know that there are some people out there who just want to have fun, or they want to have fun because they're young. But I feel in a way, I don't mean to blame social media lah, but I think social media has also propagated this, because you're young, go have fun, go live your life before you turn 30, before you turn 40. Others later you can't be able to get it back anymore. I guess, or maybe that's just the American way of saying it. Just go have fun, sleep around with anybody you want, and all these things. You see, but I may be wrong with this as well. You see, but I cherish genuine relationships. Treading back to what I said just now, I'm the kind of person that will work really hard, or trying to make a relationship work despite of all the small tidbits of negativity in it. Okay, we're all not perfect. Instead of those people who are in a relationship, and then they know that this will work out, and you really love them and all these things, you've developed feelings, you've gone through a year, 2 years, 4 years down the road already, but then later you find this other person who ticks more of your boxes, and then why sometimes I don't really understand why people waste that 4 years being in that relationship to go and suddenly start this one with this other person whom you might not know, it may not, or may even work out even if they are so perfect for you. You see, the probability is so uncertain. You see, and especially when it comes to dating apps, my belief is that you don't really know who's real or what their real intentions are. Many, like I said, many will probably just want to hook up, or you might even fall into scammers because of your own you let your guard down because of your emotions. Maybe you're lonely and all these things. There's just no certainty on what you'll be getting into, and that can be really dangerous. Especially if, let's say, if you don't have loved ones who are surrounding you, if you're just alone, and if you get into loads of trouble and you can't be able to solve them yourself, bro, that's not good, because your mind can spiral down and you might perhaps even take your life and all these things. You see, it's possible. Okay, nothing is impossible in this world. To be honest, that's why I say maybe. So if you really want to use dating apps, please use it at your own discretion. Be street smart. Do some research. Don't fall for the simplest things. Be really be wary of what you are getting into. That's all I have to say, because you do not know what is out there. I know social media has made it seem that our world is all interconnected and we are all really close to each other, but there's a much bigger world out there than we know, and it's much more dangerous, much more scary than we all actually know. You see, concluding, as for me, I encourage I encourage physical connections. Okay, I encourage talking face to face. Maybe not now lah, during this pandemic time, but I encourage FaceTime or video calls, or maybe even just like the olden days of having your friend to help you out to get their number or get their Instagram DMs and whatever, and then maybe do it properly,
do it properly,
be respectful, be professional, be classy.
Be respectful.
Okay, I think women, coming from guy, women really appreciate that. But I don't know, some women like the bad boys and all these things, but that's a different topic for a different day as well. Okay. Oh my god.
GG, man.
Okay, no, let's not go there. Let's not go there. Okay.
Yeah,
We live in a world where anything can happen. Okay. Yes, many have gotten together through dating apps, and we can all be happy for them. But social media has made it seem as if it's like super easy to get what these people are getting. But as a matter of fact, it's actually the opposite. It's a lot of probability. You may or may not get it, and majority of the time, it's probably not what you think it is. So that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah, I think with dating apps it's just I mean, there's nothing much to say, like. It's just do it in your own discretion, yes, but also find the right balance.
Don't think that dating apps are your
Find the
all-end
right
solution.
balance. Don't.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes. Don't think dating apps are your.
Correct.
Yes.
If it doesn't work out on dating app, doesn't mean it's the end of the world. There's so much more to live for. There's so much more out there. Yeah. So dating apps is not the only way you can experience dating.
Think it's about time now. We basically time to end.
It's time to get on datings. Let's go.
Time to go.
It's about time.
It's about
Time to end our podcast. We are getting
Aye.
a bit.
I
Okay,
mean, before Wei Yong ends, we just hope that anyone who's listening, take whatever that we say with a grain of salt. I mean, we're not discriminating, we're not discouraging, but this is just our 2 cents and what we all think, and we all have very different takes on this. Vinod has very different takes on this. I have very different takes. Wei Yong, who's never been into anything, also has a very different take on it. Yes, no takes. He has the middle take. He's the one that says, okay, you want to do whatever you want. If it doesn't work for you, then it doesn't work
for the
for you.
vibes.
But if it works, you come to me, man.
I think that's the point we have. I think that's the point where we have 3 different voices here. So if you find a voice that you can resonate more, then you know.
I think we basically talked about dating apps and how like some issues that you guys think that is related to dating apps, and also how it changes the way we perceive connections when we're dating. You basically cover all of that, and I think most importantly is do it at your own discretion. Go in, if you're gonna go on a dating app, go in with the right intentions and all, and know that anything can happen lah, good or bad. Right. So I think we pretty much cover, and we hope that y'all gain a new perspective of dating apps. Right. Here we got 3 different kind of people giving their own perspective. I don't give much, I just listen lah. But hope y'all learn something. Hope y'all take something away from this episode of podcast. And that's all for this week. See you next week for the next episode of podcast.
What a great outro. Okay, we'll see you next week.
Yeah, I'll see you Monday. Next week.
Catch us on our socials, our Instagram, and
next Monday.
Tune into our
others
Spotify.
like YouTube and Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Yeah, good job, Wei Yong. Come on, guys. We gotta give you a clap for that. Yes. Come on. Hey, you did a great job for the monologue. Okay, come on, guys. Why don't you guys just comment down if you
Sorry lah.
Yeah, but anyways, okay, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see you guys.
Bye-bye.
All right,
See
bye-bye.
you all
Take care.
next week.